Definitely pack on the deodorant if you come here to Europe.
I am bored. What should I do?
Ah, ich weiß.
Hallo und willkommen. Ich bin Meister Lenzi and this is VlogDave and you're watching Get Germanized. 15 European things Americans find weird. So I did some research on the internet and well, I looked at travel blogs, travel vlogs, everything, and well, some of the Americans that I saw said, well, this is a bit weird in Europe and this is definitely weird in Europe, so we're gonna talk about that today. First up, the bed crack. Dave, do you want to elaborate?
At least in Germany, we actually love having bed cracks, you know?
Ugh.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like a drug that's like been taken while being in the bed, but you know, like, it's not that.
No, it's definitely not that. It's, well, mattresses that we have. Single mattresses for each person, even if you're a couple. Some people, at least in Germany, well, maybe even just the older people by now have like separate mattresses so that, you know, your own body weight is evenly distributed on your own mattress. The body weight of the other person doesn't disturb you at all and all of that. I think that plays into it. But of course it creates a little crack in between the mattresses, and that's called, well, the bed crack, I suppose.
The bed niche?
The bed niche, yeah, maybe to some Americans that is a bit weird. I can understand, definitely. Also, we have separate blankets sometimes. That is also
true.
Yeah, part of the bed crack thing.
I do get that it can be weird for you guys if you're not used to that, but on the other hand, like, think about it. It makes sense. It really makes sense to have separate mattresses, you know?
It does.
Yeah, because
more comfy,
balance,
more comfy, better than other things.
Life has to be balanced.
Next up, coins. So many coins. Well, apparently Americans find coins and change money in Germany and in Europe in general a bit too excessive, too much. Maybe there's too many coins going around. I mean, I definitely know that there's too many coins around in Germany. For example, 1 cent coins, 2 cent coins, 5 cent coins, and never use them, ever. Maybe once a month, if at all. And I have like plenty. And I always like just sort them out of my wallet and put them somewhere else and just keep the 1 and 2 euro coins. I think you're the same, right?
Yeah, true. And they could like easily avoid all that because, yeah, just make prices be like, you know, $5. And not $4.99, for instance, and $4.95, and all those crazy prices, you know.
Ridiculous.
Yeah. Even some European countries do begin to find that strange in a way. And I think it's Finland who actually got rid of the 1 cent, 2 cent, and 5 cent coins.
Interesting.
Already. And I guess there will be other countries that will do that in the future as well. Next up, the metric system. But to be honest, like in Germany and I think in all parts of Europe, we use, like, for instance, degrees Celsius for temperature and centimeters for like length and all that stuff.
Only centimeters.
Only
not.
No, kilometers, for instance, and all that stuff.
Meters. Decimeters, all that. The metric system. Some of you guys out there, maybe some Americans even, you find the metric system annoying. I understand because you didn't grow up with it. It is confusing to you, but at the same time, your system is super confusing for us as well. And what was there? You use Fahrenheit as well, right, Dave?
Yeah.
They do that too. Well, we use Celsius.
Yeah, it's funny because Fahrenheit was a German physicist, but I think the metric system is way more accurate and, yeah, better in a way, because we have, like, for instance, 0 degrees, which is like the cold point, the
freezing point.
Yeah, the freezing point, basically, and I don't think you can express that in Fahrenheit all too well, so for instance, you know, just giving one example.
But what do you think, guys? Let us know in the comments below. Do you find it annoying that we use the metric system or what? Next up, no air conditioning in, well, many parts of Europe. At least not, it's not the standard here, right? I don't have an aircon. My entire house doesn't have one. And I don't know anyone that owns one. And I don't think you know anyone either, right?
I don't think so. And I don't think it's like a really major thing in like modern houses either. So yeah. I don't know why that is, to be honest. I mean, there are many old houses in Germany, and in those cases I can totally understand that they don't have air conditioning, you know, because how should they have that, you know?
Old.
Yeah, old.
houses.
Back in the day, you
Yeah.
didn't have air conditioning
No.
at all. But even like in many trains, well, they do have air conditioning, but even if they have that, it might not work all the time.
Yeah, because it's just not used to, well, fighting the heat,
Yeah.
which we barely ever have. I mean, today it was one of the hottest days in Germany, I think, this year.
True, true.
About 34 degrees Celsius.
I think so,
Look
yeah.
that up in Fahrenheit if you want. But very hot for Germany. But
That's
yeah,
it.
we don't usually need it. Not
Yeah.
at all, no.
But it's really, really weird, and I think it's like the same for like many other parts in Europe. We are
Yeah.
all about like technology and like developing something new, coming up with cool stuff. But then
Make our
again,
lives easier, right?
Yeah.
But no aircon. Why?
like more
I don't know.
convenience, you know. But yeah.
Definitely pack on the deodorant if you come here to Europe, that is.
Next up, scarce Wi-Fi or slow internet, and that is a major problem, especially in Germany. And by now you might have noticed, even like if you hadn't known that yet, we're Germans. It's better in many other parts of Europe, but in Germany that is
Not the case.
not really.
No. In Germany it's very bad. We don't even have glass fiber internet everywhere. I mean, not even, but I mean, when someone from South Korea, for example, came here, they laughed at how slow our internet was. And I understand, like, it's ridiculous. I don't know why. I cannot tell you, because Germany is usually at the forefront of technology when it comes to many other parts of life. But
Yeah.
internet, one of the most important things in the world right now, in our day and age, is super slow in comparison to other countries. It's, like, even here in Europe. And you might find that weird. I understand, I agree. Next up, push doors to close them, pull them to, well, open them. And that is very confusing to many Americans, because on autopilot you just don't do it right at first, right? And even for us Germans, like, we need to, like, oh, okay, you have to pull this one, or you have to push that one. It's different sometimes, and in many parts of Europe, I think it's the same.
I mean, most doors actually, like public doors, tell you what to do, but then again, you don't really see that all the time.
No, they don't tell you, but there's a little
Yeah,
sign that says
it says like...
ziehen or drücken. Drücken is to push, ziehen is to pull.
Next up, having to pay extra for pretty much everything.
Yeah, even breathing, no, not really that, but many things like public toilets, water in the restaurant, and bread. All of those things that you might enjoy for free in your country are not necessarily free everywhere in Europe. No, you will find that annoying, because I know I do too.
It's different in some countries. For instance, I think it's different in France compared to Germany, because in France you do get that for free and in Germany you don't, so...
Next up, not many 24/7 stores. Things are not open all the time here in Europe. Especially where we live in Germany, stores, well, they close at very early hours sometimes, and only corner stores, Spätis you call them as well, like late stores, are open longer than normal, but not even 24/7. I mean, not most of them at least. We do have some 24/7 stores, I believe, right?
Well, few ones.
Not
maybe,
many, not many, no. So you will find that weird if you are used to being able to shop at Walmart all night long in your PJs.
Yeah. And shock! Apart from gas stations and some like bakeries, for instance, most German stores and shops are closed on normal Sundays.
Oh my god.
As well.
That's
So
the Sunday apocalypse.
yeah, you can go shopping on a Sunday in
No.
Germany. For the most part, no.
Mm-mm.
Next up, small portion sizes.
Yeah, in America, especially from what I heard at least, portion sizes are really big. If you get a large pizza, you get a large pizza. But here in Germany, that might be your kid size. I don't know, actually.
There is a difference between the American way of understanding large and like the European way of understanding large.
That's what she said. But he's right. So definitely keep that in mind when you come to Europe. Next up, different clothing sizes. Well, not only the portion sizes are different in Germany, but also clothes sizes. For example, an M shirt in Germany might be very small in comparison to an M shirt in America.
Yeah.
And the other way around, well, you know what I mean, right? So different sizes, different sizes.
And that is like honestly one thing that annoys me the most. And it's like even within Europe there are different like I guess metric scales for that stuff, for shoes for instance, or for clothes in general. So why?
Yeah, why is that?
Why?
Like, maybe you guys can tell us, but that is definitely some weird shit.
I mean, you know, to some degree it has to do with different metric systems in general, like inches versus centimeters, for instance, so you do express that differently. I do get that, then again.
Well, tell us.
Next up, bad customer service.
Yeah, apparently, from what I heard at least, from my experience when I did the research, customer service in Germany isn't all that great. People seem to be unfriendly, people seem to be not very helpful, or annoyed when you want to know something, some stuff, at least from what I read from like American tourists here in Europe. It might not be like that in all countries of Europe. Remember, we're from Germany, so our main experience comes from Germany, and those travelers, well, they had different countries, Germany included, and they said the service isn't that great, but it might be different in your European country, so keep that in mind, please. And let us know in the comments what you think about that. Next up, acquiring the driver's license later, well, than usual, for you at least, maybe. Because in the USA you can drive, I think, at the age of 16. You can get your driver's license then. And in Germany,
you can get it at 17 actually, but you're only allowed to drive with, like, for instance, yeah, your father or like your mother next to you. But the normal age of like getting your driver's license is at 18, or like from 18 onwards. Next up, you're considered an adult at the age of 18 in Germany.
Yeah, because in the USA it is 21, right?
True.
It's 21.
True.
And well, in Germany, 18. And the drinking age is 18 as well for hard liquor and beer. I think, no, beer is actually
16.
16 it was. And I think even younger when your parents allow it.
True.
And stuff like that. And wine at 16 as well. So very early on in comparison to the USA. I guess that goes hand in hand with being 18, being like an adult at that age already in the eyes of the law, especially. When you commit a crime, a major crime, then they can, well, incarcerate you once you're 18 with like the big boys. In America, I'm not sure how that works there actually. Let us know in the comments below.
Yeah, and on a side note, I think it was up until 1975 that you were considered an adult at the age of 21 in Germany as well, so they changed that up back then.
Interesting fact, Dave. Thank you very much.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Next up, not so much small talk in, well, Europe. In Germany especially, in comparison to the USA and to many other English-speaking countries, Europe, or Germany in this case, I know many people will say, well, you cannot generalize all of Europe, you're from Germany. In Germany especially, small talk isn't very typical. For example, on trains, you don't really speak to strangers all that much. I mean, if you're a very outgoing German, of course, then you might. I will not generalize that at all. But in general, I think it's like that, right, Dave?
Yeah, we like big talk, we don't like small talk.
Indeed. Yeah, Germans actually talk about a lot of deep issues, serious issues to each other, rather than saying, hey, the weather is so bad and nice.
I mean, for instance, Germany and like huge parts of Europe are all about like recycling stuff and all that stuff. And stuff, you know?
And stuff.
And like
words.
Yeah, saving time, for instance, as well. So that might, yeah, have to do with that. Like, don't waste time with small talk, get on to the big talk.
Exactly, the important things. Get them out of the way. Guys, did we miss any things, like some things that you find very weird, annoying, strange, or just simply unacceptable? Well, let us know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed the video, leave a like. If you haven't subscribed to both our channels yet, you should do that. And apart from that, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to get Germanized. Goodbye and auf Wiedersehen.
Bad customer service, sir.
Nicht Service.
Service.